Don't forget, guys, why are we on a huddle? Why are we here? To get our hair on fire, but to have the muscle memory for all of us to grow together, come together, share together, and all of us to have some ideas and information to benefit from each other's stories. Facts tell, but stories sell. And they sell us too. They create our belief as well. When I share the story that yesterday or last week, someone was delivering firewood to our house. So or to the house we were staying at. I just said, hey, are you the owners? No, great. They're in a big truck. I'm like, this company's doing some real volume. This is not being pulled out of someone's trunk. And talked to him about capital. I gave him my drop card. I said I'd be reaching out to the owner. Of course, I emailed the owner. And then I emailed the owner a second time because she didn't follow up from the first one. And she responded to the second email saying, you reached out at a perfect time. We really could use some funding. And I replied back, great, here's my link. You can click to apply now, and I'm traveling at the time, or we can talk tomorrow. She replied back, I'll look at it and let's talk tomorrow. So here we are going to be talking today about it. She's California time, so we've not talked yet, but it's just a proof that when we go through this muscle memory, there's a story that you can tell yourself that, hey, individual emails do work. Individual emails, mass emails, maybe not. Individual emails, yes. Subject line, you just delivered firewood to me today. That's going to get open. And I track my open rates, and you can track them too if you have a CRM system that tracks open rates. So whether it's HubSpot, which is free HubSpot, where you can track your opens. So if you send an email, you'll get a notification they opened it. It's a suggestion to all of you. If you're not doing that now, of the 10 emails I sent that day, 6 of them have been opened. One of them's turning into an application. Potentially, we haven't talked yet, but it's at least an engaged lead, and that it happens all the time. And every time I do 25 individual, it takes time to do 25 individual emails, but there is a story for your own edification, right? You don't hear that if you're not on the huddle. These are not recorded. If you're not on, you're not hearing, wow, if I just send 25 individual emails one at a time with a subject line that's personal to them, not need funding now, that's not going to get open. It's going to get spammed, not even looked at, unless they're desperately needing funding right now. But the reality is that won't get open. So it can't be the same subject line. It's got to be different. Follow our business funding training that talks about emails. If you're not following that, you're wasting time and wasting money. And so don't use the paid systems, use the individual emails. They work all the time. All right. So huddle up, because we're hearing stories. Stories create our beliefs. They give our muscle memory going. We start hearing the same thing over and over. We start responding that way, and we start feeling a certain way. The beliefs start going, the purpose driven. Yesterday was all about purpose first before reaching out, purpose before presentation. Hopefully you did that. Share some stories on how that made you make more calls. Share some stories when you come back in the huddle when it opens up. Say, hey, yesterday's huddle talking about purpose over presentation gave me more belief in what we're doing. I actually reached out to a few more people because my mindset was different. I wasn't sizzling the business. I was serving the client. That's a huge change. I don't ever want to sell someone on something, but I love serving people with things I'm passionate and believe about. You can't stop me from doing that, but you can prevent me from working by telling me I got to follow a certain script, and no matter what they say, I got to try to turn them into a yes. Yeah, good luck. I'm not calling. Thank you. I'm not that guy. But give me something I believe in. Now you can't stop me from calling. And many of you are the same way, right? Now, second thing I want to say on the huddle, facts tell, stories sell. What's your goals? I was out in La Jolla, California. I got new goals. I mean, you can't be in a place like that. It's like paradise. I came home and started thinking, okay, how much funding do I got to do? I don't want to take a mortgage, but if I want to buy a nice vacation place that's 4 million, 3 million, 2 million, what do I got to do in funding to pay for it? Because without taking a mortgage, because there's costs afterward too. So, okay, that's a new goal, new trigger goal. How much funding you got to do to make $2 million, $3 million? Don't think it's not doable. It's extremely doable. How many brokers? My goal for recruiting went from 70 reps a week to 700 reps a week in my personal team. That's just why, because that's how I'm going to make $2 million in the next year and a half, right? In overrides. So it's real simple. You guys all can do the same. Huddle up and you go, well, can I make 2 million just getting clients? Yeah. You can. It's a lot of clients. But heck, if you have 50 new brokers starting a day and you're making $1,000 for every funding and four of them get fundings, you're making 4,000 a day for all your new brokers that you recruit. That's 280,000 a year just on new brokers starting because you're positioned and you're making a bit of money. And now how do you get 50 brokers a week? You don't get that if you don't attend this huddle, right? So huddles are for us to get out of the puddles and into the fast lane, right? So today's two funding stories for you, talking about facts tell, stories sell. I just gave you a couple stories right there about your goals, my goals, a little email story. This should help create more belief in your business. Accounting firm out of Florida, an accounting firm, huh? They're accountants. Why would they use our funding? They received an offer for 201,000. They're funding. Why would they need us? Core rate. They got a 2-year term, which is unbelievable for a 1.21 a year. It needs funds to purchase another book of business from an accounting firm that has an owner who wants to retire. So you got an owner wants out, already has a book of business, wants to sell that book of business. One accountant needs $201,000. Huh? Why can't they get it anywhere else? Because they don't own their building, they're leasing it. Standard story. You don't own the building, you can't get a business loan. So, accounting firm out of Florida, great work. Construction company out of Ohio, broker Stephen Kelly. Good job, broker. Stephen Kelly, you're on these huddles all the time. Maybe you could share a couple things for us. This is an offer. Company has been in business for over 25 years with very good credit. Asked for 100K. Revenue fluctuation from 78 in August to 117 in September. So they're fluctuating a little bit. They wanted 100K. They received an offer for both a line of credit and working capital. The client wants the line of credit most likely because he needs funds periodically for materials for different jobs, etc. Many times the bank draw is not available due to projects that are not on schedule to receive the draw at this time. So $132,000 core rate funding at a 1.29 over 12 months, or a $75,000 line of credit. In fact, it says as well. So both of those offers are available. Great job, Stephen. I know you're probably on here. You speak up quite a bit. If you want to share how you talked to this client, I think you already did. This may be one of them you met Friday at the broker, at the convention you went to, small business construction deal. I think you reached out to them then. But anyway, those are the two little funding stories for you, why they needed the money and who it is that helped that client. So let me now go to our little pro tip for today. The pro tip, it's titled Sell the Relief, Not the Rate. Sell the relief, not the rate. When talking to business owners, stop focusing on what it costs. That rarely, hopefully you're not doing that. We teach never talk about the cost, talk about the value. What is it freeing them for? So is it relieving a pinch? Is it like an antiseptic that cures an infection? Or is it a steroid that helps fuel some performance? Right? Either way, we're either fueling performance or we're solving a pinch. Focus on that. What is the relief? What is the benefit that you're providing right now? When I talk about a lifestyle of living in La Jolla, California, if you've never been there, it's a different lifestyle. And there's a lot of different places that in the world that when you go to, people go to Colorado, they say, man, I want to buy a vacation home here. I go to the tropics and I want to buy a vacation home in some island somewhere, or I want to buy a boat or a yacht or a mobile home. Or hey, don't stop dreaming. Get it in 25 or 26. Set the goal, make it happen between now and end of 2026. Just do it. You need 400 grand to buy a new home. It's done. Go earn it. It's real simple. You don't need a mortgage. Go earn it. You can earn it right here. You need 800 grand. Go, okay, earn it. 4 million, go earn it. It's real simple. It's not, why do people own $10 million homes? Because they wouldn't earn it. It's real simple. You can do it here. So sell the relief, not the rate. And what would 40K do for you? If that was put in your account tomorrow, what relief would that provide? Or what fuel would that give you? What's the first thing you'd fix? What's the first thing you do to drive sales? Right? What's the first thing who's the first person you would hire? And when they describe that, they're not thinking about rates; they're seeing results. Matt Dehaim always talks about this. When someone asks him what it costs, first thing he says is, "Well, let me. That depends. Tell me what you would do with the funds. Tell me first why you're looking for money." He focuses on the result of the capital, the relief of the capital. So you're selling relief and growth funds. So today, as we part, have a challenge to have 5 relief conversations or fuel conversations. Again, the result, same. This is muscle memory, guys. A linebacker learns how to read the run in 7th grade, 5th grade, 3rd grade. It's no different than when they're playing in the NFL. It's the same functionality. You learn the basics. A quarterback, arm angle, throw, timing, reading the defense. That starts at a young age and it never changes. You just have to keep doing the fundamentals so you don't make the mistakes, but everybody still fumbles. You're still going to mess up. But muscle memory, by being here today, we want to focus again the outcome, the desired outcome, not the cost. Focus on the value. Whenever you're talking to somebody about anything, make sure you come back around. You guys need to know the cost. You need to know the price range. You need to know the requirements, the minimums, and all that. But what we want to make sure the client's focused on is the value. And if the value does not outweigh the cost, they should say, no, I don't want the money. But if the value drives way higher than the cost, like if you came to me today and said, okay, David, you want to buy that place, you need $6 million to buy it. You want to make $6 million bucks. I got a way that you can do 6 million definitely in overrides, but it's going to cost you $1 million bucks. Show me. Show me. I like the desired outcome, 6 million. What's the cost of $1 million? Show me your plan. Show me your plan. Let's explore together. Right. And so that's what you get to do with business owners, but you don't have to create the plan. You just have to create the conversation. Just create the conversation. Talk about the relief, talk about the rewards, reliefs and rewards over rates, reliefs and rewards over rates. Put that on your mirror, put that on your iPhone. You know, my iPhone says abandon me. I cannot open my phone without seeing this: abandon me, abide in him. I got to remember that all day long, or guess what happens? I focus on me. I focus on my ideas. I focus on my abilities instead of my faith in my Father, Jesus Christ. So if I don't say that to myself, I don't think it. Do you have to have relief and rewards over rates on your phone? Maybe so, until it's part of your belief. It's all muscle memory. Okay, who's got something to share before we break this out? Go create your 5 relief or reward conversations today. Momentum beats motivation all day long. You need motivation to move, but momentum keeps you moving. So the momentum you're going to build in your business starts today with you.